competitive. The points between the teams is not that much. But then we'll take our first commercial break. Then when we come back, we discuss on the table standing. Of course, the teams that also played on the eight.
If I'm a co-host, before you do that, let me just take up that. I know we've talked a lot. I mean,
ici c'est la Terre Sainte, la patrie des dieux, bienvenue sur la terre mère. Le nord, le sud, l'embrasse, l'est et l'ouest, on vit le rêve en la tierra de nuestros abuelos. Você sabe que as crianças são futuro, trazendo esperança para a próxima geração. Pour l'Afrique de Djibouti.
Welcome again to another exciting episode of Africa in Sport here on African Renaissance TV network. With me, Mohammed M. Sediba, of course, with my, my independent and of course the co-host of this show, Mohammed Bibaji, is also here again. But then we have two special guests with us. One of them is of course a part of the Renaissance family. But then before going into the discussion, we'll be discussing again on the second division league, the happenings in the game day 24 of the Gambia Football Federation second division league. So, Mr. Mohammed, welcome back again.
Well, yes. So normally we wouldn't be there to introduce to welcome co-host in a program. But I would maintain that independence is there. So I am the independent analyst. I am glad to be here. It's always been a fascinating platform to come and then having to have incredible ladies join us on the show. Well, I'm introducing your guest alongside.
Well, I really want to give you the honors to welcome the newest guest here.
I am taking it on board. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Well, everyone, I am Mohammed Bibaji, like I said, and then joining us today on the platforms, we have an incredible Fatu B camera journalist. I'm a sport journalist who is really helping us in terms of information on sports, in terms of statistics to make sure we are all on board in what is happening, especially in the second division as we focus on that. But not just her, we have another incredible Ready, who is also here in the name of Mariam Sambu, also a sport journalist. And I am not really sure if she has taken breakfast or if she has eaten yet, but then she is all smiling here. With a very important thing that we have here. But then before I'm going into the details of whatever we should do here, Sediba, I think you will give them the honors to say one or two things. Maybe I wouldn't start with Fadabika Kamara. She's right beside me here. But Maria, maybe we're going to start with you. Well, you're welcome on to Africa in Sports here on African Renaissance TV.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy to be invited here to share my thoughts on how the league is going, especially on second division. Thank you, guys.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, but you're smiling. It's good to smile. It's good to smile. Well, Fatu B is here. What do you have to say again? This is not the first time you have been here, but it's good to have you back again.
Sure, and this is not my first time. Of course, they said I am part of the family, and I cannot dispute that. And it is my honor to be in this great family, I can say. It was a pleasure to be here. It is a pleasure to be here today, and it will always be a pleasure to be here.
She is planning to come back.
Yes, so yeah, as we stated the last time, talk about games in the second division, give our thoughts when it comes to the games that have passed already. So it's a pleasure once again.
Yeah, indeed, it's a pleasure to have you all here, and then welcome back. I will say welcome back, and then welcome to African Renaissance for the first time. Mariama. Well, the second division league table, it looks really tense. As we going closer to the to the end of the season. The second round, it's it's an interesting games that we have. But then we have Hawks, like we discussed earlier on. Hawks were able to topple down Hearts, and then they still maintain their position on top of the league with now 2 points clear from Hearts FC, which is the second man. So now they played on the 7th, and they played against Elite United at Basori, where they were able to beat Elite United 2-0. Now, what will you say to the performance of Elite Hawks FC in general, since the beginning of the season and then to now?
Well, Hawks has been a dream, a revelation, especially in the second round. Well, they've not been doing bad since the commencement of the season, in the first half of the season. Well, Hearts was taking all the applause deservedly, and then that was on their side, but then the tables have turned, and then now we've seen Hawks being on top of the table. But this is not just by chance. Hawks has been working very hard in terms of getting to this position. When you look at the statistics that is behind their position right now, on a winning streak of 5 games. The last 5 games, they've won all their games. And then these are comfortable wins for them. They would win, and then in most cases, they will keep clean sheets. They have one of the best strikers in the league, in the name of Wali Alaji. And then not just Alaji. Alaji has impressive goal returns. I think he's up to 15 now in the league. That is quite impressive, especially looking at the people he's competing against. But not just him. We have the likes of Abdurrahman. He's a very good playmaker. He has incredible assist rate, and then he's not played much in the first half of the season. But now we've seen he's able to accumulate up to like 8 assists, and then with a couple of goals.
That's
like in the last game,
it's an incredible performance.
So
it's an incredible.
Hawks has been a revelation. I would say congrats to them, not just to them, but the coach, the entire fan base, and then anyone who is a big fan of them.
Indeed, we have a long way to go to the league. The league is not decided yet, but then, they've been doing very well. They've been doing so well on their performance. Like we always said, Hawks is a team that rarely lose a game. They mostly draw. Their worst results is usually a draw most of the time. Now, moving on, the same day on the 7th, Jam City played against Serekunda FC, where, Serekunda FC, I can say they are coming up again. They are doing very well from their last 2 games. Now, Mariama, what's your take on the game that played against Jam City and Serekunda FC at Beckham?
Yeah, I think Serbuna FC have capitalized on the chances that they have. It could have been a different side of the story because Jam City, they have like 4 clear chances, including the penalty, which Modlamin Moron took, but unfortunately he missed the penalty. The penalty which could actually turn the match because at that time they were actually 1-0 down. So they were awarded a penalty. Modlamin Moron missed the penalty. Modlamin Moron could have just scored his 6th goal of a season, but he missed a penalty and could have actually been a turning point because that penalty is a turning point for them.
That was important.
If they actually scored that penalty, there is a hope that they can either walk or leave the theater of entertainment with 1 point, or they can actually grab.
Well, I love that. You are naming Baksba as the theater of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a theater of entertainment.
Yeah,
indeed.
but unfortunately for them, they couldn't capitalize on the chances that they had. I tried talking to Modlamin Marong about on his thoughts about the game, but he couldn't, and he was like, "I'm very much hurt right now. I can't
Indeed.
say anything."
That was emotional.
Yeah, and so I think I really understand his point, and I have to actually let him be. And Jam City and Serekunda FC, they are both actually struggling because they are all at the drop zone. They are fighting for their lives to stay in the 2nd division.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then Serekunda FC actually capitalized and grabbed all the maximum point, and they have actually moved to 14 from the relegation zone. So I think it's actually an important game for the Serekunda FC, and then hard luck to Jam City on that match.
Indeed. Now, Jam City, they're still fighting for, at the relegation zone. They are not in the relegation zone, but very close to relegation zone. Now, how does that game how do you think that game was important for them?
It's a very important game for them because if they could have won that match, they would have just actually moved to 11th place, which is very, very important for them because there's only few matches left for the league. But then this is a very important game, like a very important game for them to actually grab a 3 point to move to 11th, and they could actually fight in the remaining games that they have, even if they have a draw. It's actually a good point for them. Exactly. Now, so at least they will be rescued from danger, being relegated to the 3rd division, which they wouldn't even want. Because Jam City is a team which we're actually having a 4 on since first round of the season. So I think the few games that's left, I don't know, but they could have just capitalized on
Hopefully something can come for them.
Hopefully, I believe they will do something, to stay back into the league because the Gambia 2nd division league relegating to the 3rd division, it's really a tough one, and I believe no team will want to do that, and I believe they will double up their efforts. I don't know, the team that is below them what they will do to make sure they drag them back, but I believe they will do their best to ensure they stay in the league. Now, moving on, we have Kanifing is also played against Ouagadougou. Of course, at Bakau, where they both draw zeros. Now, Mariam, sorry, Fad Bikamara.
You are giving her a different name.
Take us through that game.
Are you hungry?
I'm not really hungry, but you can take us through that.
Well, Kanifing East versus Ouagadougou was a very interesting game. Looking at both sides, they all played well. They all have clear chances, but I don't know whether it is the the problem of their strikers. But indeed, it was a very crucial game for both of them, and that 3 points, it is needed 3 points for both sides. We see Wagadu FC, they came in the second half, they have goal scoring opportunity, but again they couldn't capitalize because kind of thing is also where also fighting to make sure that they don't have a defeat at their home ground. So these people they met at the first time and kind of thing defeated them. So you defeated me in my own ground, so I visited you again. You want to defeat me?
Well, that would have been something.
It won't be easy. So yes, Ouagadougou succeeded. They make sure that because what I observed, they came with two options. They either win or draw. So and they have succeeded when it comes to the draw. They both sides couldn't capitalize on their chances that they
Now,
have.
looking at the games of course, Kanifing FC and Ouagadougou, most of the time, they mostly settle for draws. Like, looking at Ouagadougou, from their last 6 games, they draw all of them. All their last 6 games, of course, and then, now Kanifing draw their last 6 games, but then Ouagadougou lost 3 of their last 6 games, and then, draw the 3 of them. Now, how do you rate their performance, both of them in the league, especially in the second round?
In the second round, for Ouagadougou, if it is over 10, I will give them 5 over 10. And if it is for Kanifing, I will give them maybe 7 over 10. Because Ouagadougou, one thing I observe is it is all the chances that they have, the problems that the players have is the finishing point. How they going to finish that opportunity that they have. But again, their goalkeeper really helped them because looking at those shot on target, he was able to save them, and that is a very very crucial and a danger shots for them. But he fortunately did it as it is expected from
Well,
him.
that's what he's paid for, and then that's why he's been able to to make those important saves for the team. Now, Ares Talending and Latrikunda played at the late Usman Saho football field in Yundum, where Latrikunda were able to beat Ares Talending. Now, Mohammed, like Ares Talending in the first round, they were very very outstanding. Like the first 6 games of the the tournament, they were leading, I can say, for some time. Now, why do you think their performance is dropping? From the last first round, second round, their performance have gone down from the last first 10 games now, going down.
Well, when it comes to performance, I mean, if it comes to low performance, especially in this league, it's not going to be new to any specific team. Like RS Starending, like you said, they started this season well, but then when it comes to competitions like this, looking at going to that with that slow pace at the beginning, and then if you're able to find your footing, especially in the second half of the season, that becomes best. And for them, it's going to be difficult to be specific on what is really affecting them, because football is that complicated. At times, we've seen teams that have been doing incredible well. In fact, not just RS Talending. We've seen the likes of Hearts, we've seen the likes of the Dutch Lions, we've seen the BK Milan. These are very powerful teams in terms of experience, in terms of footballing talents. But then some of them have also been struggling. But then Talending especially, what is really there is to be cautioned, especially from the management. It should be something that would be an alert for them, especially a red alarm for them. Because going to the business end of the season now, you cannot settle for losses like they are doing. Consecutive losses can only be a negative thing for you. So whatever is happening within the background, they have to be able to push it aside to really have some positive results in their pockets to be able to survive this. If not, they wouldn't be. They would end this season at a very low ground, and this is something I'm sure they are really not looking forward to.
Latrikunda, they are playing their next game is against the Gambia Dutch Lions, of course. Now, how do you think this
Why
game...
are you always smiling when talking about Dutch Lions?
It's Dutch Lions, so we have to smile when talking about it. In fact, this program is brought to you by the Gambia Dutch Lions Consortium.
No wonder you're smiling.
So how is that game, the win?
It's going to be an interesting game. When you look at they are both fighting for something at different ends of the table. Dutch Lions, well, is one of those teams that can really look forward to say, well, we want to go head to head as far as the league is concerned with Hearts, with Hawks, and then GPA. In fact, maybe BK Milan. But then Latrikunda is also at a position that is very critical. So playing against a team like Latrikunda, looking at their position, league position, is that critical because they have more reasons to fight. They know, well, we cannot lose the entire 3 points here. Like she said, I like that point to say, well, if we cannot go in for only 3 points, we must settle in for that draw, which will really be against the wills of the Dot Lions when you ask Coach Umar Jam. But so that is what makes the games that interesting. And then they know each other. These are boys that have played along among each other when it comes to teams, even from the 3rd division before here, some of them in the 2nd division. So it's going to be a tricky game.
Now, another interesting question I have. Now, looking at the games that played in the game day 24, there were not that too much of goals. Goals were not scored that much, even though some teams score 2 goals, some teams score 1 goal, and then draws for other teams. Now, how important, what does that mean for the Gambian football? Maybe we go with you for that.
Yeah, I think every team have a game plan.
Yeah.
You either go there to grab the maximum point, or you either go there to just grab a point. So probably it might be the game plan of all the clubs to go there and then grab the maximum point. Like if you know that you are not going to win the league, you always fight to stay in the league instead of being relegated. So this is the game plan that some of the managers actually sit, discuss, come to conclusion, they go in with their game plan. But I know for sure that no team actually go there to lose. They all have a game plan. It's either go there, grab the maximum point, or you go there and collect a point. And then looking at the week, there have been many goals hasn't been scored.
Sure.
It's been 2-0. And then 1-0 and 0-0 draw. So probably some team, this is my own opinion, some team actually go there actually to grab a point instead of a maximum point. It's better than lose, but some actually go there to fight.
I believe this is a plan for most of the teams, because sometimes you will be playing with a team with something else.
but it's interesting. I wouldn't really blame a team for that. I mean, when you come to the business end of the season this way, is that if there are teams that have already known that, okay, it is at this point of the league, we cannot really qualify to the 1st division. But in fact, what is worse than not qualifying to the 1st division is relegated to the 3rd division. I mean, the competition that are there. How many teams are you going to play against? Well, it's that difficult.
West Coast is huge.
Especially in West Coast here.
That
So
division is very difficult.
yeah, so it's better for them to, like she said, to fight to stay within the league, and sometimes that would mean not going for not risking the play much in terms of looking for a goal, but you want to say, well, if I can get a point here, let me stay within the league. And I wouldn't really be against for some teams. Well, there are teams that must not go for that, but then other teams will have to settle for a draw in that.
Yes, I think now the league is getting old. It's no more younger. And as he said, yes, it's very right. You're going there for 2 options. Either you share a point. Someone said it is not bad to share points sometimes. And looking at the 4th round, yes, we can say it is a 4th round. Maybe in the 2nd round,
you can amend your mistakes or something.
Yes, you amend your mistakes, and 2nd round is always competitive. So maybe that is what is there. Some teams knew that obviously we cannot qualify for the 4th division, but that being the case, also we should not go back to the 3rd division rather. So in that regard, they will fight to stay in the league. For that being the case, they must be sharing points rather than losing all the 3 points.
For what I understand, I think Hawks FC, all their game plan is to go there and grab the maximum point, because they relegate from first division to the second division. So they will actually love to go back to 1st division, and then it will not be of a surprise to me if they actually make it through to the 1st division again, because they are teams that actually have an experience. They were having a poor run in the 1st division last season. They relegated 2nd division, and now they are fighting back to make sure they make their way to 1st division.
I think they have all the capacity, the capability to go back
for
there.
Them, the only game plan they have is to go there, fight for the maximum point, so you can just make your way to the 1st division.
Indeed. And then
and we have seen that because looking at their first game week 20 to 24, they have won all.
They have won all.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's 5 out of 5 for Momoduba.
Exactly.
Momoduba and his boys. Yeah.
So this is what they always said, because Momoduba is what he said to me, that they want to see themselves back to the 1st division. And of course, yes, if you want something, you go for it. You
work for it.
And that's what they are doing.
Yes, so we move on. It's an interesting one. But then, looking at the league, it's very much competitive. But then we'll talk about that after after that break. But before going to the break, now GPA play against Unique Global. Now, we've talked about it here. Unique Global, they have a very well structured football organization now. The coming in of the Unique group, after the change of name from a PSV Weringara to Unique Global. Now, how do you rate the performance of both GPA and Unique Global? Maybe that can be wrap up, and then we
Well,
go.
yeah, we can have that. Like you said, Unique Global is like she said. How do you call it? Hawks is one of the teams that really came into the second division from the first division. But when you look at the second division, Unique Global too is one of the newcomers into the league. I'm looking at last year what has happened. But then their play this year has not been that bad when it comes to results wise. They've not been able to come to the limelight in terms of the top of the league. But then they've also not been one of those that were fighting for their lives all along. And GPA, like I said, they've played an incredible game in the last 5 games, even though results has not been speaking true to that sometimes. They've played the likes of Hearts and they've earned a good point. They're playing now. In fact, they are earning more draws again. Their challenge has always been similar to Carnifing East. Defensively, they are very okay, and then at the midfield, they are very disciplined players that are really there to break points and then break the lines and then break the play for them. But then having that final third, being clinical at that final third has been a big challenge for them. And this is what the coach will tell you all. They are really looking forward to having that. And of course, a lot of people will say at Banjul they will play a very incredible
surprisingly,
game.
they have 8 games to play in Banjul this time around. Most of their games they will play in.
Hopefully, they will come as a surprise because if you look at the records that they have, the statistics behind them in playing at Banjul, the KG5, it's impressive. They've not really lost many games, if there is any, even though now. But I will still say their biggest problem is goal scoring. If they can find that they are footing in terms of scoring goals and being clinical, they have the experience enough to be able to defend games and then come out of the 3
I think
points.
GPA now, they have been the hot cake for most of the teams that are top there because we're forgetting about them, but then they are coming a bit
gradually.
They are equal to the Gambia Dutch Lion, 39, but following each other. But then fortunately, the Dutch Lion have have a game in hand against them. But the league of the Gambia Second Division League is very much competitive. It's competitive. The points between the teams is not that much. But then we'll take our first commercial break. Then when we come back, we discuss on the table standing. Of course, the teams that also played on the 8th.
If I'm a co-host, before you do that, let me just take up that. I know we've talked a lot. It has been an impressive talk. I will give you the chance. Don't worry. It has been an impressive discourse, and here with Mariam Sambu and Fatou B. Kamara, and of course the host of the program, Mohammed M. Sediba. But then
today you want to take up my responsibility.
My own self here. I am the independent analyst here. I am very independent of everyone that we see on the platform. Do not doubt my independence. I am very independent. Well, this will take us to our first commercial break, and when we return, the discussion continues here on Africa in Sports, coming away from the African Renaissance TV with Mohammed M. Sediba and of course myself, Mohamed Bibaji.
Ici c'est la terre sainte, la patrie des dieux, bienvenue sur la terre-mère. Le nord, le sud, embrasse l'est et l'ouest, on vit le rêve
estamos en la tierra de nuestros abuelos.
Você sabe que as crianças são futuro, trazendo esperança para a próxima geração.
Donc pour l'Afrique de Djibouti au Sénégal, comme mendiant, tout ce que je veux c'est soulever le Graal. L'Afrique est belle, l'Afrique est jeune, l'Afrique est forte, enfant de la terre, mère, lève le poing et envoie du love. Enfant de la terre, mère, lève le poing et envoie du love.
Welcome back from that short commercial. If you're just joining us, this is Africa in Sport here on Africa Renaissance TV Network with me, Mohammed M. Sediba. And of course, with the two ladies here in the studio, we have Mariama Sambu and of course, Fatou Kamara with the independent analyst out right there. Mr. Mohammed Bibaji.
You should say Mariama Sambu, journalist, and Fatou Kamara, journalist. That is the whole name. Well, I am Mohammed Bibaji. I am not a journalist for now. I'll give that. Yes.
Welcome back. Now, we are discussing on the second division league of the Gambia Football Federation. And of course, this program is brought to you by the Gambia Lion Consortium, a team that is playing, they are playing in the second division league, and of course the West Coast Region third division league. Now, moving on, the games that played on the 8th of May 2024, Serekunda United played against BK Milan in Bakau. The game ended 1-1 draw. Medina United also played against Jara West, and then the results were zeros. Immigration also were able to maintain the scores with Hard FC, the former leaders of the table. Now Jara West, Jara West have. They've bring in a new coach, a new coach in the name of Joseph. He led the team into drawing against Medina United in their home ground in Banjul. Now, what do you have to say? The whole scenario of Jara West, having to to lay off or to part way with their former coach, and then now having Joseph as their head coach,
Well, yes, like you said, I think not much has really changed in terms of results. We've seen the problems are still lingering in terms of not being able to convert chances into goals. They've just like previous games, they've had they either lose or draw, but then the problem has not really been in terms of results. It has always been to really in that final third, their striking unit, the attacking unit should be able to do more. And I'm sure the coming of the new coach, for if there is any chance of survival, this has to be at the forefront of things. And then it's always important, I would say, but sometimes football is that complex. When you bring in a new management, some of these expectations are that results will really follow suit in terms of changing positively. But then we are yet to see that, and then hopefully for their sake, we hope the coach can be able to turn things around.
Indeed. We hope he is able to turn things around, because I wouldn't want my Jara people to go back into the third division. Well, the table, before going into the break, we are saying like the table, it looks really interesting, like always. The points between teams is not that much. From the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, they are not very far from each other. We talked about it last time, but then now you have the journalists that have been following the league from the beginning of the league. Now we have their thoughts on the performance of all the teams in general in the table, and then how important it is for the Gambian football, its development and advancement. Mariama.
Yeah, just like I said, for us, I just mentioned that earlier. They are actually a team that relegated from the first division to second division. So they are only targets to go back to the first division again, which they are actually doing it on the league. All right. And then for Hard FC, I'm actually surprised because there was a little bit consistency in them in every game that they play. But all of a sudden, things change. It has been drawn.
There was a time they were winning 3-3.
Exactly. That consistency. I don't know where the consistency went.
This is all football.
Exactly. So,
That's the game.
and all of a sudden, they start dropping. It's a draw. Draw. They played against Immigration. They could have just won it that match, but it's a draw too. Immigration is actually struggling. When you look at the table, they're actually at the drop zone, at the relegation zone, fighting for their life. But they draw. It was a 0-0 draw. And I don't really know what went wrong. I haven't covered their match in the second round. But eventually, I would love to cover either their match to know actually what went wrong. Why are they not being consistent like the way they are being consistent, been winning the league?
I believe when you find the answers, we'll bring you back here to talk to our viewers about the answers.
Exactly. Watch them out. On Tuesday, they're playing Derby at Jara against Jara. So all questions could be answered over there.
For Gambia Lions and Gambia Port Authority, I think this team here, they are really good. They are really, really good. For Gambia Lions, and then you are smiling.
He smiles. Anytime he says that.
This show is brought to you. It's brought here by the Gambia Lions. So of course, we have to smile when we saw their name.
It's not yet over until it's over. There's still chance for them. They are third with 39 points, and I think they're also consistent. They have the caliber of players. I love their striker, the tall one. Jallo, exactly. he's really good. He's really, really good.
But he's struggling recently. He has missed scoring for a while since after Ramadan. During Ramadan, after Ramadan, he has not scored.
Yeah, that's football. He gained
Can I
form.
say it is the impact of the Ramadan? That's why he's not scoring goal.
Possibly. He's from that side. So.
And for BK Milan too, they are actually a team that were actually consistent in the first round because they topped the table. But unfortunately, they dropped until 5th place. But anyway, it's still not over because they have 39 points. The same point with Gambia Port Authority. Yeah, so there's still hope that they can also fight for the top top 4. They can fight for second place or first. I don't know, but it is football. It is you can say it's not possible. Like it's football, anything is possible.
It's not
So
over
yeah,
until
and then
everything is over, like-
the table is just becoming dramatic week by week. So like the table is not yet decided. It's not decided yet. We've been seeing the points, just been 1 point difference, 2 point difference, 3 point difference. So still, and there we left with few more games to go. But when you look at the teams that are actually at the relegation zone, we have Serekunda United Immigration and Jara West. These are teams that are actually having a pour on since first round of the season. So I actually do not know, but I think I coach like they should go back again, sit and
go back to the
they
drawing
have
board
to
and then,
analyze and then see what went wrong. Why?
What is
Why?
going on,
Yeah, why they actually have a pour on since and first round, especially Immigration and Jara West. I think these two teams they need to work a whole lot if they want to stay in the league because there's only few games to go, and I'm not even seeing other teams planning to drop all points in ahead of the games.
Even those in the relegation are not planning to lose, even though
they are not planning to lose. Even those that are actually saving the table, they are not planning to lose any of those matches because everybody is fighting, every club is fighting for their lives to stay in the league. Yeah.
So now, like you mentioned, there are very few points between teams, 1 point, 2 point different, a point different. Now, Fadu Kamal, how important, how crucial do you think this is for, our advancement as a footballing nation? We are growing as a footballing nation. How important is it for us?
Well, this shows how hungry our players are. This shows how ready they are when it comes to their career path, which is football. I always said it when I go everywhere or anywhere. I always said this: football. If you want to have what you want, you must invest in it. If you invest in it, you will have what you want. But if you're not investing in it, then it will be very difficult for you to have what you want. So, looking at the table standings, having Hawks at the top of the table with 45 points, just 3 points, 2 points behind Hearts FC. They did well because these are club that they fight from 8 points to the top of the point. To the top of the table, so that shows how hungry they are, really how they're willing to go back to their old days in the first division. Looking at Hearts FC, who thought that they will drop down? No one.
Points.
They were everyone's favorite, but things change. So, but again, I know they will not hold on to it. They will fight back. And coming to Gambia Dutch Lions, this team, they came with power in the second division. So, and I think they're working towards what they really want. They are with 39 points, just
6 points.
Goal difference between them and Gambia Ports Authority. And Gambia Ports Authority also, they are doing great when it comes to their home games. As he said,
I hope you're not also part of those saying there.
No, I watched their game against Heart FC. Yes, I watched their games against Heart FC. They would have won that game. Looking at the goal chances that they had before you guys came in the second half, these people were playing well. So it was the penalty that saved them. Hadn't been that, things will be otherwise in favor of Heart FC. But you could see that how they held on that 1-1.
Should I ask, how do you see that penalty? How controversial was it?
Well, they said it is not a penalty.
What do you think? Not this.
They say.
So you're trying to be that independent here.
Yes, let me be independent for now because my concentration wasn't 100% when the penalty occurred. So I cannot just say it is a penalty, but that was a narrow escape from their side.
Unfortunately, there was no VAR system where you can revert back to see whether or not it was
exactly
for certain.
Yeah. So now
exactly.
Moving on, we have the team of the week. This is the second time we are releasing the team of the week for the Gambia Football Federation Second Division League. Now the formation today we have is 4-2-4. Now, I will give you the honors to introduce the team of the week and of course the players, as we continue the discussion on that.
Well, interesting, Sedua. When you look at looking at the team of the week, like you said, this is an important angle. by the way, before in fact we get into that, it's important to really acknowledge and the efforts of all the stakeholders that are really partaking to the successful plowing out of the team of the week for the Gambia Football Federation, the second division. This in the collaboration and partnership with incredible individuals. The sport journalists. Two of those are really here with us today. Fatou Camara, and then Maria Masambu. We have the likes of Sefullah. We have a whole lot of journalists that are really doing well when it comes to sport. To make sure we are at par with what is happening on the pitch, even if we are not able to be there in person. And that is quite important. But then beyond that, it's about recognizing efforts of individuals. These are players who have people who have dedicated their lives to giving all to communities, giving all to proprietors, giving all to fans, and then every sport lover. Like we said, when we have this, I think we start with the coach of the week for now. First, for the first time, and then consecutively for the second time in a row, he has been voted as the coach of the week. That is the head coach of Hawks FC. Hawks has been on an incredible run. They've been on the spin for 5 times, 5 games. They've been winning all their games, and they are on top of the summit. So their head coach is deservedly here again. Mr. What is his Mamadou Ba. He's one of the smartest foolers on earth here. My children, so I will always say that to them. So that is quite important.
How I wish I was a jogger. Then I would oppose him.
Yeah, so we went with a 4-2-4. That is quite important. When you look at the goal, we have.
I want to ask. Why are we going for the 4-4-2-4?
Well, formations are dependent solely on the quality of the players we have in the team of the week. That is quite important, because when you look at the team of the week that we have here, we have a very incredible, especially at the defense level. We have 3 incredible center halves playing for different things, but then. So is that important? It's a tactical formation. Well, it wouldn't be a 4-flat-4. This would be this formation would require one of the central defenders to step into the midfield. Like this is something we have seen in the modern day game. That is quite attributable to Pep Guardiola in today's football, but it has not been his only genius idea. It has been in the game for a while. But not to take time in this. When you look at the goal post, we have the goalkeeper of Jara West, ML. He has been an incredible person.
Now, before you go into that,
Jara West is struggling.
Before you go into that, I would love to hear the thoughts of our guests here on the performance of Mamadou Ba, the head coach of Hawks FC. Throughout. What's your take on his performance?
Yeah, I think he's a good cover, and then he deserves to be there, winning your game consecutively. It's not really easy to be consistent, especially in winning. But he did that, and he's actually on top of the table, leading the table. And I am not sure. I'm not supporting, but I think he's not done yet. There's a lot to do, and then the table is not yet decided, because he's only 2 points ahead of Heart FC. So it's not done yet. There's so many things, jobs to be done, and then I think he's going to do that for sure, and then he deserves to be in this position, as he win he has been winning most of his games, most
especially the last 5
games that he played. Yeah, exactly. So I think he really deserves to be there.
Yeah, that's indeed a good one. Now, Mariam, sorry, Fatou Camara. Today I'm calling you Mariam.
Mariam is beside you. That's why Mariam is beside you. Well, congratulations to Coach Mamadou Ba. I think it is a well-deserved, recognition. Looking at, like Mariama said, all the 5 games in a row, winning them is not easy. And when he is winning, he make a comfortable victory. And one thing I observe, coach also is not that you just, go for your matches and play, then go. You come in with something, and you are expecting to go with something. And coach, what I have realized, in the second half, whenever they play the first half, second half will be, there will be a lot of changes, because last time I spoke to him, the first half you have chances, but you could not. Your boys still could not find the back of the net. And what he said is, what he observed is the style that he instruct the boy to play with. That style, that is the style that they were not playing with. That's why. So they went back into the dressing room, and he conveyed and portrayed to them that this is not our style of the play. So you must do this. And they came in the second half, and it is a positive change.
That's
So
leadership.
he is brilliant when it comes to his tactics and when it comes to his plan. And I think, not even think, I am sure, I'm 100% sure that it is a deserved recognition, and I will say congratulations to him. Mariama said he's not done. He's not done
Yeah,
yet.
he's not done
Second
yet.
half,
There's so many
second
things
round
to
is
do.
always hectic. There are a lot of clubs, Gavas who really want to be at that top where you are now, especially when it comes to the goal difference. Yes, one can say they can win from the goal difference, but again, Heart FC also are not relaxing back, so it means you have to double up your
I wanted
efforts.
to say this at some point. There has been some few weeks that we've said this here that Hearts has already run away with the league.
Yeah,
And when
we've
they are
said that
almost
here,
9
but
points, 8 points difference. But
Exactly.
then, with football, it's funny. We've seen within few weeks after that, things
Everything
have
changed.
changed
Things
dramatically.
in,
But,
yeah,
but
Hawks
I
will-
hope your predictions, and then hope for the coach of Hawks is remains true till the end of the season. That would be an incredible.
It's never easy to be
Exactly. So I
consistent.
think the whole initiative, it is a very brilliant idea. It is a brilliant initiative, as it will serve as a motivation to the players and of course the coaches. So I hope it is something that we will go with it
Or
even
keep
next
on.
year.
Indeed,
Keep-
we are
Next
we'll be
season,
consistent.
inshallah.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Doing this, it encourages so many players.
No, it did.
To
Now
do more.
moving on, in the defense line, we start with the defense line. We have Jata of Serekunda FC, Nyasi of BK Milan, Doi of Cardiff East, and of course Ocham of Hearts FC. Now these are players that have performed really very well. Like the like of Doi, he was part of the last.
You are always calling him as Doi.
Doi.
His name is Doi. Suleiman Doi. Mr. Doi, I hope you wouldn't take offense of this. He's an incredible footballer,
Yeah.
a very good defensive footballer. One of the best ball-playing defenders you can have in the league. I mean, and for his age, he's that well mature into footballing. He's comfortable with the ball. He's a modern-day centre-back, and this is why I said, well, having a formation of
He's a player
for,
that can add up onto the
4-4,
midfield.
he's incredible. You can always have a back three with him joining the midfield when in attack, and when the possession is lost, you can always have him back slot into the back four as conveniently as possible. And he's incredible. And I think when you look at that, this is why I'm having three center halves is that quite important in the formation, and then I'm having a wing back there who can always add up to that role of attacking. And so that is quite important. And then, but not just that, when having the backing of the goalkeeper, if you have a goalkeeper that can provide those
Wonderful
important
saves,
saves, we will really be a good formation to go with. So I don't know how well they would see this otherwise, but then the goalkeeper has been playing for a team that is struggling, Jara West. They've struggled a lot. I mean, in the entire season, they've been struggling. We cannot avoid to say that. And but when you look at the last game, he's not just played an incredible game. Well, they were not able to come up with 3 points that they would have wanted. But for a goalkeeper, he's had an amazing game. He saved a penalty that could have really done very bad to their fate in the league. But then not just that, he has incredible saves. And then that is all it is for him. So he's deservedly there.
And I believe that save was a motivation for the new coach, the incoming coach.
Exactly.
If the incoming coach have to lose his first game, that would be something else. Because I have said maybe I don't see it as Coach Joseph would be that much of a good block to Jaraves.
But there was a tight contest. There
And
was a
then
tight contest between him, I mean the coach of the goalkeeper of Jaraves, and then goalkeepers of Ouagadougou and then Hawks. So there had been that incredible, but then his save capacity was that really high, and then
in a game, the statistic doesn't only remains at having a clean sheet also, but it's also important the amount of saves that you are able to make, the goal chance that you are able to decline your opponents on. That's quite very important. Now we have the in the midfield, this formation, like you said, Slimando could be that vital when it comes to adding up to under the midfield. Now under the midfield we have two important players, that is Saho of Serekunda United and Jambe of Jam City. Now, how was the performance of Jamie of Jam City? I'll come to you. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Ibrahim Jambe, actually, he's a fighter. He gave it all, even though it wasn't really the results they want, but he gave it all, and then he was given the opportunity to lead the team, but he gave it all, and then he's consistent I think he had that skill too in the midfield, and he was actually dominating. All the chances that was created, he contributed. Most of all the chances that was contributed, their match against Serikunda FC, he contributed a lot to make sure that the chances contributed. But unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize to get the results that they want. So I think he really deserved to be in this place.
Indeed. And congratulations to him. As a midfielder,
Congrats to
especially
you.
an attacking midfielder, it's very important that you're able to, make those important contributions that will definitely eventually leads to a goal. But unfortunately, like you said, it's not the results that they will have wanted. Now, about Sao.
So you got to talk about Sao. So let's see what is coming up the bank.
Sawa was his performance on that day was remarkable. I can say he really contributes a lot. That leads to their 1-1 draw. Even though he was not able to score, but he really played his role. And Sahal is someone that I see who I have seen that versatileness in him. So I mean, he really contributes a lot. And he played all the 90 minutes, the full 90 minutes, and with the same energy. So he is someone
that's the energy that a midfielder should have.
of course, the energy that the midfielder should have, and I think he really deserves this position and this recognition, I can say, and it will really help them again.
I believe he will love to be part of this, and congratulations to him also. Now, another important player that I would love you to talk about is Mariko of Ouagadougou. Mariko Musa.
Oh, Musa of Ouagadougou.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. The flank player. That boy was extremely doing well when it comes to Ouagadougou's performance and their game. I mean, the success of their game on that day, even though it was a goalless draw, I know it was very difficult. Their aim was to grab the maximum 3 points. But again, Ouagadougou also are doing great. And he's someone that he didn't start the game. He came in the second half. But if you are someone that is very observant, you knew something that all the second half has changed all because of him. He was running from left and right. He was really incredible, and he really create chances, and of course he also have chances. But the goalkeeper was the problem. Their opponent's goalkeeper was also, I mean, there to make sure that he kept a clean sheet, and he did
his job very
but
well.
yes, he did his job overall.
Yeah.
And after the matches, I could see that frustration on Musa's face, that this is not the result that he wanted. He really wanted to score, but again, the goalkeeper was very, I mean, well prepared for him. But he really deserved this place, and congratulations to him.
Yeah.
And it will serve as a motivation to him next time.
Yes, congratulations to him. Musa, like always, everybody talks about him. Anytime you watch their game, you fall in love with his play. And then, in the forward, we have, of course, Jai of SK United. And then, Wali of Hawks. Second time, he's been nominated again, consecutive time. And also, Job of Hawks. Now, let's talk about Wali. Why is he here again and again and again? I'm expecting to see him again.
Wali led our line. I mean, he led the line of the team of the week for game day 23. And here again in the game day 24, he's still the focal point, the man of the moment. He's been having incredible goal returns, and not just that, but his general play has been amazing. And then his link up with Abdurrahman has been an impressive one. I mean, Abdurrahman is one of those very silky, how do you say it, silky playmakers that you can rely on. And when you look at Abdurrahman, I tend to compare him with the number 10 of Hearts, Fanli, Fansura. He's incredible. He's good on the ball, and then his assist rates are good. And we've seen that he missed the first part of the season due to injury, and then when he came back, he's been having good returns in terms of assists, and not just assists, but he scored pretty much some goals. And that's why we have to have both of them as 9 and 10 in this lineup. It's an incredible one for them.
Now, I want us to select a captain for it. Now, we have a set of captains here. Ocham is a captain. He's a captain of Hearts. Doi also is the captain of.
The name is Doi. The name is Doi.
Okay, Suleiman. Let me use Suleiman.
Yeah, I think that's more easy.
Now, we have.
Before you conclude our vote, I will say for Suleiman, I will take Suleiman as my captain of this lineup.
Now,
I don't know what would they say.
Who will you vote for?
Who would be your captain of
Who will
this
be your
team
captain
of
of
the
this
week?
team of the
So the
week?
captain of the week. That's a new one.
My captain of the week.
Who will you vote as the captain?
My captain of this week will be the captain of, is it Canifing?
Cardiff.
Well,
That's
that's
Sleman.
Sleman.
Canifing.
That's Sleman.
a
So
win.
who are you voting for?
Jambe. Jam City.
Jambe of Jam City.
Yeah.
Now, who am I voting for?
Well, you're either doing a tie here or you're declining.
I think-
Independents don't vote. You should not vote. You should be the one to vote, not him.
now
He
you,
is independent.
you are closer to each other. You vote for the same person.
same
Now I
person.
also vote for Jamie. Now we have
Hope-
two captains.
Hope he doesn't bribe me. Are you sure that you
Most
know?
definitely.
It looks like now this is interesting. Now like they have said, it's important that we have these for players. Like having these statistics for players, it serves as a motivation, and then it's very good for the advancement of of our league. Like
Exactly.
looking at the team of the week formation in the Gambia here, it stops at the international level. We are not having it in the Gambia. We are not having it anywhere. So it's important that we we join hands to to make sure we establish this for our players, so that they can be motivated to give their best for their various teams. Because these teams, if they succeed, means Gambian football succeed. When if Gambian football at the divisional level succeed, it means our first division will be that competitive. And then if the first division is competitive, now we'll have a great national team. We'll have great players
Exactly.
going out abroad to play, and then we'll have a very good national team. Now moving on, I will have to read this, but then maybe that will be at the end of the program. Now, the Gambia National Amputee Football Club, they are moving on. They are going on to Cairo for the Gambia, the African Amputee Football Championship. Now, they need that support from the Gambians. They need that that motivation from everybody to support, because they are going there to support to represent the Gambia, not themselves as individuals, but then they are representing the name, the flag of the Gambia. Now, let's have your say onto the National Amputee Football Club.
Yes, my say would not be that much because I know what they are doing. They're not doing it for their self-purpose. They are doing it for the country, even though they are struggling. In 2021, they were in the same tournament and they have went up to the round of 16. But unfortunately, they have to come back, but they because they couldn't cross, despite all the challenges that they have been through. When I sit with these people and I tend to ask them certain questions about the struggle that they, encounter before going there. It is something that saddened me. But again, seeing that passion in them, that hunger in them, that they want to represent the Gambia, and this time around they're going with that notion that they're going to bring the trophy. So I think Gambians should, really support them when it comes to the ministry, the federation. When I said their federation, yes, that's there. But I think other,
But
federation also
I
should really
believe,
contribute.
their activity as football club falls under the Gambia Football Federation, because
Yes.
this is football. No matter how how it is football.
Exactly. And there's no
Exactly.
discrimination
Even
there.
though they are amputated, but it doesn't mean that they're not under Gambia Football Federation. So I think they should help them, and plus the philanthropists, the NGOs, non-governmental organization, let them support them. If they support them, if they win, the win is not for them, it's for the whole Gambia, because they are going for the Gambia, they're going to represent the Gambia. And looking at Ibrahima, these are young players, brilliant players who have that passion in them. And I have seen Ibrahima, he's been having that sleepless night. Sometimes he will text me, pray for us. For us to, bring the trophy, because that's their aim. I have been going to their training ground, even though I'm not even satisfied when it comes to their training ground. These are people that are amputated. You are giving them that Sunday sand for them to, train. It is very risky. It can, they can injure. They can be injured, and it is very, 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 negative for them.
For the
But I
Gambian
hope,
football
I wish them all the best, and I hope that the aim that they have, it's going to be well portrayed when they go into the tournament.
Indeed, I hope so too, and then we pray that they have a successful run in the tournament. Now, what's your take on
Yeah,
that?
I think Fatu have said it all. Whatsoever she mentioned, that's true. We need to support them. They need our support. Yeah, I believe in football there is no discrimination, even though they are amputated, but they're still trying their level best to represent the country. And I wish them all the best, and I hope their dreams come true. Because their only dream is to go there, grab the trophy, and then come back just to raise the flag, the country flag to the high height. And I think when it comes to their training ground, they deserve to be trained in a very proper ground. They deserve to be well taken care of, because they need to be prepared and compete. They are going there to compete with other countries. So I think they need to be properly taken care of, and they need a proper ground to train and to be well prepared for this upcoming tournament or for this upcoming competition. Yeah.
Now, what would be your word of word of call to the people in the Gambia in general to support them, to render their their support to them either in cash or in kind, because right now they are seriously in need of financial support, so that they will be able to have a successful run in Cairo.
Well, Silva, this is quite important. I think, like they said, it's something that we must all put our hands on deck to really see that they go well prepared in Cairo, in Egypt, and then to be able to deliver to the best of their abilities. And hopefully they will come back with a trophy as champions of Africa. But not just that, that will really earn them a spot in the World Cups in few years' time. But when you look at them, we had this engagement with them. They've been incredible. You have talents in that team. Like she said, Ibrahima is one of the best forwards, not just in the Gambia. I mean, in Africa, he's been renowned for that. He's one of those best goal scorers you can have. But not just him. We have the likes of Malik, we have the likes of Buba. These are young people, and then you have Sadio Mane. He's one of my favorite among them. I mean, these are important wingers that can really provide assists. When you look at the likes of someone like Malik as an attacking midfield, he's very, very creative. He's one of those stylish bowlers you can really find.
Exactly.
And not just that, when you look at them, they have experience now. When they first went to Tanzania in 2021, this was without the backing of experience. It was their first time, not just at the international stage, but in fact in a real competition for them. When you look at the assistant coach, when he spoke to the assistant coach, one of the things he emphasized was when they first went to Tanzania, they went without the backing of knowledge in terms of the rules of the game. But today they can stand to say, well, we've understood the games. We are prepared to do all that we really need is the support of every Gambian, just like every other sports unit already deserve. And one of the key things that I think we must emphasize, Seriba, is that we've said this about the Scorpions at Cote d'Ivoire. The preparation had affected them. There was that support from the government, from the ministry, from the Football Federation had been lagging. It was not really to the level that we would have wished for. And we must not repeat the same thing, even though, well, it might sound too late now. We have barely 4 days for them to be in Cairo. All that they have secured now is the air tickets for their travels and then lodgement. But then there is not a single promise of an allowance for this team. They have a coaching staff, a coaching team that is really not backed by finances to have compensations for them. Like Ibrahima will tell you, these are footballers. This is their career. If they are to leave families behind without leaving a butut on them to say, well, we are going for an international tournament, representing the country, taking the flag of the Gambia, not just to the African continent, but then to the world stage. What are we getting in return? It cannot be all sacrificed. So, but that is something really the authorities, the stakeholders, we must all come together, and then I'm sure we'll have journalists, incredible journalists here. We must echo this wherever we go.
I believe we would pledge our support here. All of us as journalists, as sport enthusiasts, we pledge our support. We have different ways that we can file our support for them. We can be giving them the necessary publicity that they need. We can be giving them that media visibility they need as our part that will be contributing there. As African Renaissance TV, of course, we will bring you some of the happenings that are going to take place in Cairo, and then we will be doing some important things for them to ensure that they receive the necessary support that they need. Well,
maybe before much to tell, the cameraman has been saying it's time.
Yes,
so in as much as we love the presence of Mariama and
it has been indeed a great session here with the two ladies, the guests that we have here. Mariama Sambu, the journalist, and of course Fatbi Kamara, the journalist, and the independent analyst of the show.
So is it because of him that's why you put the journalist?
No, I want to end it with the full name.
Right.
Now we also have Mohammed Bibaji. He has always been incredible on the show.
I can say my name. Just look at their names, please.
Well, now just to give a recap of the team of the week. We have the head coach of the week. Mr. Momodu Ba of Hawks. We have of course In the goalkeeping department, we have ML Ba of Jara West. We have in the defensive line, we have Jata of SKFC, Nyasi of BK Milan, and Dai of SK and Ocham of Hearts. We also have Saho of Serkunda United, and then Jame for Jam City. Njai for SK United as the the right in the attacking you have Wally of Hawks, and of course Job from Hawks, and also Mariko of Wagadugu. This is the team of the week, and then like we said always, we send appreciations to all those who are involved in the formation of this team of the week. Now this is the end of the program.
Yeah,
but
so
before that,
I will really take that platform to take the sun out. Like I said, but when you look at the team of the week, it's an incredible thing that we are all witnessing here in the Gambia, especially with special focus on the second division. But then this goes to show a bigger impact that we are really not saying as a country. And when you look at the jobs of the sport journalists in this country, it has been incredible. But then I think we are taking it for granted. So we should be able to appreciate and then understand the level of importance and the contribution it is having on our sports. We will really need to know. Information has to be put there. But the internet is meant to be, of course, information bank. But then this can only be there if we are able to supply it. And for the Gambians everywhere in Africa, everywhere in the world, should be able to know what is happening here. And the aim is not just to stop within the Gambian perspective. As African Renaissance TV on African sports, the aim is to bridge the gap as far as the continent is concerned. So we will really looking forward to having some other leagues, local or national leagues in various African countries. We are looking at the Gambia as a pilot project, but we are going to transition to that. And I'm hopeful that we are going to do this transition with our very own sport journalists here that we have in the country. And then leading that team, we have Fatou B. Kamara. We are really appreciative of you being here, for the second time. And for the first time, Mariam, you are all smiles, but then we are grateful to having you on board. And then we are hoping to see you do your second time before so you can have a start round here. So hopefully you can do that. I wouldn't end this show for Mr. Mohammed M. Sediba because I am not the host. I am going
You're
to
just an
maintain
intruder.
my independence here, and I'm going to
intruder, so
the baton to you, so you can end yourself.
yes, thank you so much for being with us. For this long journey is a long journey today. Now it's Africa in sport. We are open for partnerships. We are open for collaborations. To ensure that our sport reach the high heights that we need. We all want the best for the Gambian football. We all want great things to happen for the Gambian football. Well, next week we will bring you the coach that the Gambia is planning to bring into the to head the national team. But just to remind you, this program is brought to you by the Gambia Lion Consortium. The Gambia Lion is playing in the second division. The game is rescheduled, due to some inconvenience or some things that happens behind the background. But then till we come your way next time. Bye from us.
Ici c'est la terre sainte, la patrie des dieux, bienvenue sur la terre-mère. Le nord, le sud, embrasse l'est et l'ouest, on vit le règne
Estamos en la tierra de nuestros abuelos.
Você sabe que as crianças são o futuro, trazendo esperança para a próxima geração.
On donne tout pour l'Afrique de Djibouti.